We are looking at the Third Amendment in this video. This should be another one on the shorter side, as you'll see. Not a super long amendment, and honestly not one that comes up a lot in modern day life. So it's something you may not be familiar with at all. So let's look at it really quickly, just so you have this as background, and it could help with state testing if they ask a question about it. So let's go to the source first. Let's read the actual text of the amendment. So the Third Amendment says, "No soldier shall, in time of peace, be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law." Okay, what does that mean? Break it down again. Sometimes these sentences are hard to translate into modern English, right? So basically this is saying that American citizens could not be forced to house and feed and supply soldiers that are in like a standing army in peacetime. And even if it's wartime, Congress would have to pass a law to make this happen. And you might say, this seems very strange. We have military bases and things today to do this. But at the time, standing armies were really on the minds of citizens, of colonists before we were a country, English citizens in England. This idea of having a standing army was unusual. Most of the time, colonists relied on putting together militias, and rather than having professional soldiers who their whole job was to be a soldier. And, the colonists and early American citizens did not trust the idea of a standing army. They didn't want a government that had a powerful military force at its command all the time. So this amendment was put in place as a reaction against things that the British had done to the colonists. Okay, so the British had passed a law in 1765 that forced colonists to provide housing, food, and other supplies for the British soldiers who were there, kind of to enforce the rule of the British Crown. So the colonists already didn't like that those soldiers were there to begin with, and they certainly did not like being forced to house and feed them. And so this Third Amendment was a reaction to that British law, that they did not want the new American government to be able to create something similar. So they put this amendment in place. Again, not something that comes up a lot today, but now you know a little bit about the background of that amendment. If you have questions about it, just let us know.